Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you America's top foundational health coach, Dr. Joe D.
Welcome to Life's Milkshake Moment. Boy, this is a moment today, one that you will not forget. I am honored to say I'm bringing a real difference maker to the stage right now because life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely, and when you do, life will be oh so sweet. For those of you that don't know me, and I'm just going to reintroduce myself for those that do, I'm Dr. Jody Bear, known as America's top foundational health coach for over 43 years. I have had the honor in my brick and mortar practice to bring over 30,000 people. These are people that had weight to lose, had health to regain, and these people became my client, patients, and my friends. 1.1 million pounds later, I can say with only a 5% recidivism rate, toxic weight lost. And in the COVID era, it's been over 3,000 client patients have regained, reclaimed, and restored their life because nothing feels as good and no food tastes as good as health experienced and health feels. And boy, this guest of mine tonight shows how much feeling vibrant, being vibrant, it's not an act, it's just a way of being. When I said health is something, no, that you don't do, but it's what you become along life's journey, what you become. And Chris Trammell, my guest tonight, has become health. He walks the talk and talks the walk. So you can believe what he says in the talk, but also he walks it. He's experienced it in all these 6 pillars we talk about: spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, and financially. He's living proof, living proof. And this is what we do here on Traverse TV every Thursday, Life's Milkshake Moments. On Monday, Mindset Mondays. And as you see, yes, I had the same outfit on earlier today. Why? Because we had a wonderful, wonderful doctor talk. We talked about goal setting and the health of goal setting. So look for that from our morning broadcast for some of you for noon Eastern time for me. So we're back. We're doing a double header today. And this is what I know, that it is necessary, as Les Brown says, for you to do what only you can do. Only you can do. And where are you going to do this? It's got to become you in your health. That's the first thing. You know what billionaires say? They say at the end of their life that they would do anything to regain the health that they lost as they were climbing up to their fortune. I've not said this on our broadcast. You know, we are now 28 days away. We're on a countdown to Boca. Why is this important? Because the countdown to Boca will be your difference maker. Why do I say that? You say, Jody, I'm not a millionaire. I've not made that much money, but you work and push and do, and then you turn around. Like I'm saying, next month, the day before, on the 21st of February, I will enter in my 8th decade, 7-0 for me. And I know as I've governed my health and I become health along the way, even with a couple of hiccups, y'all know my story. I pushed and pushed and pushed myself. And it wasn't that my boys were stressing me out. No, I was stressing me out. Then I was able to be engulfed, and I attracted a man named Dr. Jim Marinakis, a world-renowned healer. 40 years ago, he was even a part of the Olympic team physician team in Sarajevo, I should say. In Sarajevo in the Winter Olympics, 1984, he was 33 years young, yet he had gotten so much notoriety just healing people. That's what we do as healers, just healing people. One life, one weight loss, one immunity claimed per time. 35,000 patients he saw in 10 years, all by referral. He didn't advertise, people found him. And now you can find out what he has become and what he made along the way, what made him famous as a young physician at age 33, that people were attracted to him and brought him out to just reclaim the physical health of many of our Olympians at Sarajevo in the Winter Olympics, 1984. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that is really something to talk about, an accomplishment. But you see, you can accomplish it too. Why am I saying this? Because my guest today, Chris Trammell, and his wife saw the vision of health isn't something you do, it's what you become along life's journey. Let's say that you're a lawyer, you're a physical therapist, you're a speaker, entrepreneur, mompreneur. Maybe you're managing and you're a principal at a school. It doesn't matter what your mission and your purpose and your passion is. I have a question for you. What if you knew just for a little while that you could learn the secrets of bringing forth this knowledge, this information? People know what to do with their health, but how to do it correctly. That's what Dr. Jim Marinakis is going to bring to the forefront in Boca. For just a little while, there'll be a group of people together that will come and say, I can do this. But guess what? If one man can do this, another man can do this. If one person can do this, another person can do this. You can now go to our landing page, Healthopedia 365, and click on purchase tickets. Only 32 tickets remain. We're so excited to have a room filled with 150. Why? 100 can change the world. Our Savior really showed that we didn't need 100. He only needed 12 to change the world. We're looking for those 1%ers. We're looking for those people that can come in, be a part, learn the keys to the kingdom and the process. Say, Jody, okay, enough about this. What is the process? Back to my question. Mompreneur, lawyer, maybe even in the holistic field, a regular conventional Western medical doctor, anyone, educator, speaker, entrepreneur. What if you knew, whatever your passion is, that you could do it in less time, with less effort? What would you do with those extra hours of the day? What would you do with that extra time? Because you've learned how to take care of you first. You see, I have a saying that says, when you take care of you and your world first, the world around you is empowered forever. What would it feel like if you became empowered to be that person, but you didn't have to push like those billionaires until at the end stage of life, they've used up all their energy and they would give anything, all their fortune. 9 out of 10 billionaires said if they had to do it all again, they would take care of their health first. This is what Dr. Jim is doing with the process. Unlike any other event, the process is the foundation. As we said, spiritual, physical, mental, emotional, social, and financial. The building, the foundation, the trusses of the roof. Then Dr. Jim comes in and he is the drywall. And the speakers that we have, world-renowned speakers, Serena Brown Travis, Dame Doria Cordova, Dr. Gary Sanchez, Jamie Kerr, Rex Sykes. It goes on and on. Even with 3 new A-listers coming to the forefront. Dr. Glenn Rain, who will be our guest on the 8th of February. All I'm going to say is when I get his emails, I feel more intelligent. I really do. I feel more intelligent because he is a world changer, world-renowned quantum physics engineer. Then we have Dr. David Dennis, who created sustainable farming. And last but not least, Brian Gallinger of the Dream Promoter. Come be with us. Hear how these 1%ers in the room will truly, truly change the health of mankind because they changed it with themselves, with herself, with himself, with myself. How about yourself? So let's take a look, take a listen with brand new eyes and ears of what we call the process. The process, the secrets of the universe revealed. Want to look and feel great? We invite you to experience a whole new paradigm with exuberant, optimal health. Experience it yourself. Why only hear about it? Join us and learn to optimize your health and rid your body of disease. You're already healthy? Then come extend your life and feel your vitality soar. You will learn how to use all 5 aspects of life that keep you alive and cause you to flourish. Learn how world champion athletes use these living skills to set new world records. Align yourself to the circadian rhythms of the universe that regulate all things. Experience a meditation to clear the mind by eliminating stress, preventing degenerative health. How would you like to have the skill to balance your body chemistry every time your organs need it? Leading the way is Dr. James Marinakis, a worldwide leader in this field. Having treated over 35,000 people over 10 years, he's a homeopath, naturopath, and acupuncture physician. Find out why he changed his focus from treatment to teaching the secrets of life. How he put himself through this process and found the missing link to the chain of life. People don't want to just get healthy, they want to stay healthy as long as they can. By incorporating the process into your daily life, you will heal yourself not only from aches and pains and diseases, but it will give you the vital energy you need to cycle through the emotions that cause disease in the first place. Wouldn't it be great to identify these emotions? Wouldn't it be great to identify which emotions are dominating your life, stopping you from experiencing true joy and bliss? Imagine what it would be like to reprogram your biological computer. You will. Come set yourself free on a journey forever. Hold hands with the universe for just a little while and see what life brings you in return.
The main reason I believe people's health is declining globally is because they don't do the things every day that they need to maintain themselves. They don't walk enough, they don't get enough nutrients, they accumulate way too much stress. They don't expose themselves to nature. They work under artificial lights that damage the rods and cones of their eye, their brain, disturb functions of their liver. Everybody wants to be free from disease, and they want to enjoy a long and happy life. At the Personal Performance Institute, we teach you how to do exactly that. It starts right in the beginning. The very first things you'll do, which are simple instructions, will improve your health, and they will make you feel better about yourself. Not believe that you feel better about yourself, but actually feel better about yourself. That's what the Personal Performance Institute can do for you.
And when I think about Dr. Jim Marinakis, I think about the tribe that has come together in this amazing time. Chris Trammell, the absolute creator of the Author Launchpad, is one of these people that's going to be in our cadre, to part of our soul tribe. Why? Because he lives the 6 pillars of health. He lives what we've just been talking about with the process. I can tell, I can feel. Met him through, and I've got to give a shout out to the wonderful Manny Lopez. He knows how to connect people because he just does it with such a servant leadership. That tribe with the 1%ers. You see, when Les Brown says what we want in life is a collective of like-minded, community-driven, heart-centered leaders. Community-driven, absolutely. He lives these 6 pillars of life, absolutely. And he does it now with his program called the Author Launchpad. Absolutely. He finds the time. And Chris, you're just going to have to excuse me, but when I read over an introduction, then I just wing it. This is what I know about Chris. He does what he says he's going to do. Isn't that refreshing? But he is that person. As I said earlier on when I did a podcast with him, I have never been interviewed this way. He gives to people. So when if you know of somebody that is looking to take their book that was just in the linen closet collecting dust, or they've heard that, oh, I can take a book from concept to creation. Well, the creation, then what? Chris Trammell is then what? Just put it there. Hashtag what? Hashtag Chris Trammell. That is what the what is going to be with my stage. He is a creative author launchpad, but he is married to the beautiful Trish. She is from the Midwest. He must have been quite a guy because he got her out to Southern California. Those of us that are in the Midwest, we like to stay in the Midwest. So way to go. So he's got a check on the social presence. He's got a check on the definitely the spiritual presence. He's got a check on the physical presence because he's done, oh goodness, like 2 Ironman. And I was bragging on his show about my Olympic distance triathlete, national attention. I'm going, oh, when I read this, I was so embarrassed. My goodness. But he is humble on what he does. So he brings the physical nature of this. So let me tell you something. You've done even a little bit of running, you've got to be very keen in. Too far, not this just one. He did it again. It's either certifiable insanity or he was pushed to the physical limit. Check the physical limit, check the mental limit, because you've got to be mentally acute. And emotionally, he puts everything into what he does. His emotions, it's all of him to make you successful as an author on his author launchpad. So he's hit all 6 pillars of his existence. And my goodness gracious, Chris, it is such a pleasure and a delight to have you. Welcome to Life's Milkshake Moments. You certainly have built your milkshake all the way to the cherry on top.
It brings all the good people to the yard, right? That's what our milkshakes do.
Oh my goodness gracious, yes. And I want to get right in. I mean, I want to give you a lot of honor and homage right now, because here you've had your launch week with the author launchpad. There it is. It's up there right as big as it can be. I'm going to go like this and keep this ticker up here. There we go. But the authorlaunchpad.com and what you're doing. And I want to just emphasize this, because if you are doing this big, it's because you lived big prior, you've done big. So now you're making others be big. It works that way. And frankly, to go ahead and have launch week and say, oh, I'll come on your show because you just said, oh, no problem. That's you. So I want to get into a little bit about you and your background. We're going to focus on the author launchpad because this is a BSD big, well, I won't say the bad word, deal. It just is. But what made this such a big deal in your life, starting up from little Chris, little CT?
That's really good. Yeah. Okay, you got me blushing. So first and foremost, I want to thank you for allowing me to be a guest, because when I think of some of the, Bernie Siegel, Dr. Jim Marinakis, the different elite thinkers, thought leaders, tip of the arrow health and wellness practitioners that you've got to interview, that you could have here instead of me, and I get to be with you today, I'm humbled, I'm grateful, and I've loved our journey together since we met. So Dr. Jody Bear, thank you very much for making time for me to come on and share with you and your audience and everybody that we're going to uplift in our journey together. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're so welcome. And I mean, the tip of the arrow, you are the arrow. Mr. 2-time Ironman, come on. So tell us about you, your background, and how you did the try thing in such a big try thing way. Because I'm going, oh, this is what I got when I qualified for nationals. You got so much more. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Oh,
so
my goodness. Look at that.
It was quite the experience. And thank you for asking. One of the most important things that I've learned is when you're inspired by something, don't let those moments go. There's a
Yes.
quote by Carl Jung where he describes, go back to those children's stories of your youth. Go back to those hero stories of your youth, because you're going to find what reflected you. And I grew up reading King Arthur. I loved King Arthur. So this idea of quest, this idea of what does my Camelot look like in my life? Who's going to be around my round table? So this looking for heroes out in the world, I'm a product of the 80s. I'm a Gen Xer. So I had, Indiana Jones on the big screen. I had Sylvester Stallone, Rocky Balboa. It was the launch of Arnold Schwarzenegger. So those heroes were accessible. They weren't CGI. You didn't need a suit to fly around. You could be like them. You could do those things. And I remember, oh gosh, boy, it goes all the way back to being like 10 or 11 when I started watching sports, and remember the Howard Cosell, the Wide World Sports, the agony of defeat, and we'd see the skier. And I remember watching these women running this race and then crawling themselves across a finish line, or people running in the dark of night to get to a finish line, and you're just running by yourself. And I thought, that is a wild race. Yes. And then it started showing up again in my life somewhere in my 30s. And I was like, okay. And by that time, I was completed being a Division I decathlete. I ran track and field in high school. I went on to do
So you just kind of went over that a little bit. It's like, oh, well, I was a different Division I decathlete, like tricathlete, many-cathlete. I mean, that is many, many sports for those of you that don't know. And I know that because having two sons, 18-time All-American and a silver medalist in the Olympics, that's just no small feat. It's no small feat. You were gifted. Let's just say it this way. You were gifted, but this is what I want the audience to really get. Yes. You were gifted in that, and you took that gift to others in business. Come on.
Absolutely. So I want to make sure this part gets anchored so people get who I am for them. I wasn't a natural. Now I stand at a tall, lean 192, still working out and as strong. I just lifted the other day, Dr. Jody. I'm as strong now as I was probably when I was a decathlete, and as I was when I was training my son to be a long snapper for the University of Utah football team, and he played Division I football. So I had to lift like a Division I football player 3 to 4 years ago, and I feel that vitality. I feel that health and energy. But the part is I wasn't a natural. I had a late growth spurt. I was short. I was chubby. I looked like the milkman's kid. So I had to practice at everything over and over and over to be even close to the naturals. But that practice, that repetition, that made me a technician. And I've got an eye for people developing their technical skills so they could have the podium moments in their lives. And I've done it in track and field. And I said, okay, if I could do this in all these different 10 events, plus some of the other events out there, I could do it in people's lives. So I went into the world of sports psychology. I went into the world of performance coaching, and I brought all that to the world of business. I've been trained by
executive coaching, performance coaching. Okay. And we just can't kind of gloss over it. Goes, well, I just did 10 sports over 2 days, and is running and javelin and discus, discus throwing and jumping over hurdles and doing handstands and everything else and pole, it's an all.
I love you.
Ladies and gentlemen, just listen to what I'm about to say. When I said that Chris Trammell is the real deal, he's an all-encompasser.
Yes.
And that is a true, what I say, 1%er, a true person who is a milkshake moment onto himself. You're the milkshake, the whipped cream, the sprinkles, and the cherry on top. Because what did you do? You went ahead and took your gift that you weren't natural. Maybe you're out there thinking, well, I'm not naturally dude. Just keep on keeping on. If you're 1%er today, you will be at the end of 100 days, you'll be 100% better than you are right now. You're the only person that will never leave you. So concentrate on you. That's what you did. Go to the finish line with yourself. And by the way, just don't gloss over. He at the University of Utah. He played Division I football or whatever. That's no accident, because you were an example to your son.
Mhm.
You're an example to your family. He said, "What better thing? I'm going to take my gift and be just like Dad." That is a
Oh,
hero's journey. That is a hero's journey. Then you go ahead and what do? Then, oh, I think I'm just a decathlete. Then I'm just going to be a performance coach. And then I'm going to put it all together, the 10 events, because I can tell you, and I want to get into this,
mhm.
that that whole thing about the author
Yeah,
launchpad. And
yeah,
then I want to come back to Boca. Why did you decide that you wanted to be a part of Boca? All right, let's just sandwich that in, because the author launchpad, I can tell by writing in 6 anthologies, doing my number one
mm,
bestseller, as you know, the 21 Days to Your Best You, that is still number 100. And it's in 3 of the 6 categories 8 months later. That doesn't happen on Amazon. They publish a few books. Okay. So I know this world. I know what I've learned through people in different companies that I've written. And I'm thinking, when I went into Healthopedia, I wanted to have something after I have these credentials of all this stack of books over here. They can
right.
either A, be very lumpy, not blankets in my linen closet, or they can leave as marketable, monetized inventory. But it is the biggest piece. It is as big as all 8 lanes on I-4 in Florida, because it's missing. And you,
Yes.
Chris Trammell, have filled, as it says on Healthpedia, putting the puzzle pieces together in foundational health. Well,
Yeah.
you, my friend and colleague, have put the foundational pieces together for the author, because we're not
Yeah.
just going from concept to creation. You're doing a huge platform now. I have this question.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you were out there, and then I'll come back to you, if you were out there and said, I've got this book, but I don't sell enough of it. That is like 99.9% of all authors. They get this idea and they expect that they're just going to be an overnight sensation. Well, Chris Trammell can make you the overnight sensation with
Yes.
a little bit of work, and it won't be 15 years, as John Lennon says. So tell us about the author launchpad. What can they say? So let's say there are 2 people, they want to write
Yeah.
a book, and then they're in the process. But how about if they've written a book, they're all hyped, and then it's a real sinking feeling that you go from, oh, I'm going to use the wide world of sports, from the absolute summit of victory to the agony of defeat. They're actually exhilarated about this moment,
Yes.
but then, oh, now what?
Now what?
Not right.
Exactly.
Now what? Tell us what you do with the now what.
You're so great. Thank you. So what I get to do with the now what is take those skills that I learned throughout my lifetime. So the part I didn't add in is I was the curriculum writer and course developer for the Los Angeles Zoo High School for 15 years. So my job was to take very heady science textbooks and extract out the main ideas, the main elements, and then look for how am I going to teach this to my students so I can prepare them for what's next, so I could prepare them for career. I could prepare them for their podium moments and wherever they were going to go after me. I
You are
took
prepared.
that.
Yes.
And now I go into my clients' books and I say, okay, let me read your book. Let's do this together. The first phase is package. The first step of that phase package is called Own Your Expertise. What are you uniquely here to deliver to the world? What is going to make you great? What are you going to be that special sauce for? Because it's not out there. There was this Jewish carpenter guy when they said, hey, how do I keep going to heaven, master? Where do I go? And he says, look, it's right there. Lo, it's inside you.
Yes.
And when we take that and we anchor that like, oh, wait, my heaven's right here. It's about me. Yes, it is about you, your expertise, your education, your experience. What are you equipped to answer the call of? And we put all of that together inside of the author launchpad. So the first phase is called package. What are we going to package from your book? What's that number one leading tip of the arrow item that we got to get started with? Because I know there's a lot. We all know there's a lot, but you got to do one. Got to get good at one. Then 2, who are we going to market it to? And how are we going to market it to? And inside of my program, one of the biggest things, Dr. Jody, and I don't know if you hear this too, is people get stuck with tech. Authors are not web developers. Authors are not IT.
No, and health coach authors really aren't IT. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick up about why authors aren't IT right after this commercial break, Chris. And I'll tell you something. This is going to thrill your soul because Dr. Mark Chavez out in your area, board certified ER MD, will be in Boca Raton. And he has developed the next generation of what you can experience in health and fitness. It's called the Gravity Ball.
Oh my
Take
gosh.
a look, take a listen. So how would you have liked that gravity ball when you were really training in your day?
Absolutely. What an extraordinary item that allows us to have a series of movements to keep our flexibility, to keep our suppleness, to be strong across more than just the 3 dimensions of XYZ, but how do we move in all these planes fluidly? Oh,
so
fantastic.
This is because you and Trish are going to be with us in Boca. Guess what? You're going to get a little bit of a taste because guess what we're going to do?
Are we going to do one of those?
I absolutely adore Dr. Mark. And 2 of my other authors, Lee Forrester, who's got to meet you, and she will in Boca, yoga master, new author, Melanie Summers, who's just launching Learning Outside the Lines, amazing educator, award-winning educator, 43 years. And then what does she have? She's written a homeschool book that looks like a scientific journal. And we're going to introduce Dr. Mark doing our routine on stage. How fun is that going to be? So this is what I know. There's a lot of fun because you know preparedness. And I want to come back to this.
Yeah.
You know what it means to be an author, a creator, the author launchpad.
Yeah.
Let's come back to this because everything is preparedness. But as you said, and I think from author to difference maker, I love that you finally give shine on many people, and you decided to give shine on yourself. So let's come back to what you were talking about and pick it up right from here, shall we?
You got it. Perfect. Thank you, Dr. Jody. So yes, I'll narrow it down and I'll be as succinct and accurate. So it is 3 phases. First thing is,
let's review this. Hold on a minute. Number 1 was package.
Number 1's package.
And number 2 is marketing.
Number 2 is market.
What is 3? We're at number 3.
You got to monetize it.
Yes.
You absolutely got to monetize it. How are you going to go ahead and start to have that visibility convert into clients? And that's, earlier when you had Dr. Marinakis talk, he said it is about performance. And I'm a performance coach. That's one of the things that I've learned. And, most of us are designed to sell other people's stuff better. But when it's skin in the game and it's our own, we get a little, a little sheepish about it. We get a little quiet. I'm not going to make. It is a level of growing into your confidence, your boldness, your conviction, and your certainty that what you have makes a difference. And when you do that enough times, your competency goes up. People get that you're a champion for them. And when you champion people, that takes conversations into consultations, which leads into clients. So I help write. I don't just say you should do. In my program, I give people the templates for a workshop. I always start people with a 1-day workshop. I help them then develop a 3-day workshop. And over time, then they could get to that place of being able to do a 5-day live launch that I was taught through my coach, Kelly Roach. So I help people go through those 3 core phases so that their book can become a revenue stream and they stop waiting for book sales, because the amount of time that it takes to sell one book, you could go and sell one program. So what do you want? You want to sell one book and get your $5 royalty, or do you want to sell one program and get $5,000?
I want the 0, because I've always said, as one of my mentors said, after 60, it's not about good looks. It's not about a good school. It's not about a great husband. It's not about great children. It's about cash.
Yeah.
So this is the cash, but you went through those C's like lickety split because you're so unconscious competent with that. But it's that core competency. It's that unconscious competence that you know, and then that conviction. You have that conviction because what you said earlier just spoke to my soul, Chris. Because you said that Jewish guy that said, "Where's the kingdom?" It's inside of you. You would have not sit there and written down the words that were in your mind and your heart and your soul if it wasn't inside of you. All right. But where to go, what to do, go to the Author Launchpad. I will say that Chris has got an amazing, because CT is really the truth, you see. Okay. CT knows his stuff. Go to the authorlaunchpad.com. You will get, he's doing a launch. It's an amazing thing. 99.9% of all authors do not do that. Right. That's why, for instance, Chris, we have decided that doing this event, we launched the book, we're doing an event. And I decided that we're moving out. And Dr. Khalila Camacho Ali was so in favor of this, the essence of a woman, that we've moved it out to a Lionsgate number 88, because you enjoy the journey. You build on this momentum. And by the way, you can go ahead and you can maybe see Chris, experience Chris and hear him in Boca when he talks about, and it's going to be the mental mindset of health, because you are health. It's what you do and it's who you are. You married her being an expert, a physical therapist, and your wife, Trish. Come on. You had to attract that. So another reason to come and say, yeah, I'm going to go to healthopedia365.com. Let's just sell out the rest of these tickets, but let's sell out your program. Because if I, like I said, I love this difference maker. See, when you said, Chris, I just don't point the finger. You show the way. You were the example that you showed the way to your son, who became a Division I football, player. That just didn't happen like overnight. He had a few tackles, a few scrimmages, and a few, runs in between, a few little, this run, that run, and every run.
Yes.
Along the run.
Yes.
So how do you show people the way? Give us an example.
Where's my mirror at? The way is, I really want you to get the way is a mirror. First part of the way is you.
Okay, my mirror. I'm looking at my mirror. Do it.
Very, very good. So, the very first part of the way is to own who you are and the difference that you are here to make. Now, oftentimes people say it is an out there journey. No. It is a word to world declaration. This is what I am here to do. And it is my word that I'm going to cause this out in the world to make this difference. Because one of the things that I saw at one of the most recent writer conferences I went to, elite writer conference, is how many authors sat in their chairs waiting for an agent, waiting for some other traditional publishing house.
For Godot. It doesn't happen.
To wait for a thumbs up from somebody. Stop waiting. Deliver your expertise. We've all heard the story where someone has been given, and we don't want this, but someone's been given some diagnosis where they say, hey, you got a year to get your affairs in order. our best laid plans shift like that. It is the opportunity for us to take that inspiration, to take that ideation, and to create a program that allows us to coach others on what to implement into their lives to transform them along the way.
And they come from, if I could just add one thing, they come from a wait and see, or like a Dr. Seuss. People are just waiting for the snow to come, waiting for the bus to run, just waiting. No, you are making a solution. You are
Yeah,
this triathlete, this Ironman is showing you how to get across the finish line by owning
absolutely.
it, taking your word to the world. But it's got to be you and your word first, as I said.
Yes.
Then the world is empowered forever. Then you see that there's an opportunity because you've owned it. And then you come down to thinking, yes, I have a solution. I have a solution for you. I have a solution for the world. You talk about that. I always say something about obsessive compulsive disorder. No, this is the good OC, because you come from owning it to opportunity to an absolute confidence that you can do the thing out there. That's my OCD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I would say it's owning it, opportunity, and the outcome that you get to create and cause out in the world. And
Okay.
the other part about, our relationship is just like you said, in triathlon, there are 3 phases, right? It's swim, bike, run.
Uh-huh.
In our publishing world, you're going to guide them on the development of book. You're going to guide them on how to develop that chapter or how to develop what they need to put into the book. And
Yes.
then they go to the next phase, which is life after book. What do we do after it's published? And let me tell you, it's not just speaking, because everybody now with AI can
Yeah.
come up with a talk.
Yes.
Everybody now is going to be a speaker. You've got to be able to shine with your own core qualities, who you are, what you bring to the world, your personal brand, your digital assets
Yes.
must all be working together so that people, not only do they get up and go, but then they say, how do I work with you? And you say, go to the back and register right now. But if you don't have a program, you don't have a masterclass, you don't have a workshop that's been written
Letting
down.
money fall through the class, because people, if you've done your job, people do business with, they know, like and trust. They've got to know you up on stage. They like you. They will trust you to do more. And you
Yes.
come up with this offer that is just amazing. And we're going to come back to this. I'm going to kind of transition into Boca, because
Okay.
I'm going to show you what Boca is. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I can't wait. We're booked. We're coming in.
I know you're coming in, and you're going to bring the awesome physical presence of your triathlete self to the stage. So this is what really Boca is, if you want to tell your friends. You ready?
I'm ready.
Do to get what we got. Because energy creates vitality, which transcends to longevity. We're living proof. Do what I do to get what I got. Be in Boca to find out the keys to your health kingdom.
Yes.
Oh yes, and you've got your book. Now, somebody must have sent that to you. See, we're in relationship. The process, as we say. Oh, did you like the little message? I hope so.
Dr. Jody, I sure did. Packaging video that I have for you that I'm going to be continuing to launch this week. So here, let's just borrow from this. All you authors out there, whenever you send it to somebody, ask them to record themselves unpackaging what you send, and then ask them to post it.
Yes.
Like, use your network for good. We all want each other to win. And I want Boca to win. I want it to be the time where they said, I've been to so many different publishing and writer conferences and author events, but I never left with an action plan that's going to deliver me more revenue than I've ever experienced beyond my book. And that is the promise that you and I said, what's going to make the difference compared to all other writing conferences that people are going to go to, and they're going to be great. I want you to go, but look at if you don't have a revenue roadmap, that is what I create with my clients. I make you a clear, deep dive revenue roadmap where we're going through the thinking, the psychology, the experience, because people want experiences. They don't want information. We could Google information. They want to be able to take that information, implement it into their lives, and then have you coach them on how to integrate it so that it transforms who they are. That's the process. I love the word that you have process up there because, look, process is profits. When you show up with your passion, you show up with a promise. That's your brand. The passion is you. You build your platform, which is your digital web location. You got a Bing performance. You should look at these two coaches right here. She's been in front of NC2A coaches. I've been NC2A athlete. I've been out there performance. Merge that together with process, and your life is a joy full of profits.
And those 4 P's, beautiful, beautiful word. I just knew that we'd have so much fun here. I just knew it. But Chris,
Yes.
the thing that I know, we're going to learn. See, if you're an author out there, get ready, fasten your seatbelt. You have the answer. Healthopedia authors, of which there are 28 species, you will have the secret sauce to get it to the next level. Chris does not promise, he delivers. He delivered across the finish line to not 1, but 2 triathlons. He can do it for you. That's what I guarantee. Number 2, when you have this process inside of you, I'll just say, for an example, Chris, today was one of those days. I know it's going that I'm dumping a lot of acid out of my system. I'm going through a master cleanse and whatever. I'm going, gee, low energy day. I have 5 broadcasts, big energy output. Okay. I have one more at 7:30 tonight.
You are such a powerhouse, a force for good. You really are.
But you do this powerhouse, you do this plan, you have this passion, but what if you don't have the energy? You see, I knew a simple supplement to take inside of me. Within 90 minutes, I was back on track.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is? You see, then you can go back. You've got the process. You have the passion. You have the performance. You have the profit because you're looking at, I always do this backwards, at the person. It's Chris. It's Chris. Of course, being dyslexic, I always, there we go. It's Chris. It's Chris. You are the person. So if you're out there listening to this broadcast and you're thinking, I'm an author, I have books in the closet, they're not blankets, I have no clue what to do. What do you have to offer? There we go. What does Chris have to offer right here with your author pad, launch pad? What can they do when they call you? What can
Very good. Thank you, Dr. Joe. So for any of your colleagues, any of your clients, anybody who is in the Healthopedia book, because we were talking about this, and I told you where I wanted to be and where I'd like to be in June for my price point. I said, no, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, do you want me to announce the?
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay, great.
Very cool.
So,
I'll over announce it, or announce early. Announce early. Go.
Yes. The first part, anybody who's part of this extraordinary force for good that we all know by the physical name, even though she's universal in energy, that's an automatic $500 discount to what I've lowered from the $5,500 that I'm going to be hosting it at for people who don't know, who aren't in my ecosystem, who want to come in. I'm going to keep that back at the $3,500 price point that I had at the end of 2022, beginning of 2023, and I'm going to maintain it there. So whatever we got to do, and if you pay in full, then I'll give you another $500 discount on top of that. So I want people to know that over the 90 days, so my program, the Author Launchpad, is 90 days where I'm going to help authors be able to package, market, and monetize their expertise. You're going to come out of there with a revenue roadmap. It's going to be clear what your phases are, step by step. No more guessing. I'm going to make sure that you know it. I'm going to be there with you. And when you go live, I'm going to watch and be like, yeah, that was pretty good. Or you sat there like this and you didn't say anything. I'm going to make sure you're delivering your passion confidently, because you have, and I got one right here. I printed it out just in case. This is what, I know it's kind of in paper. We could have one to share. This is what a revenue roadmap. It's a blueprint for your success built out of your book. Look at authors. I want you to get on the wall, whether that's the digital Amazon wall, the Barnes and Noble wall, but where I really want you to be is out in the world. I want you to go from wall to world, delivering your expertise. But this book, as beautiful as it is, Dr. Jody, beautiful cover. Oh, it really feels nice with this matte satin gloss to it. Oh, it's so nice. But if we just leave it on the coffee table and we don't deliver the gold that's inside of it,
it's a travesty.
It is. We have not done it the justice to transform the health and well-being of individuals that are counting on us.
They're counting on us, and you are the difference maker. I'm going to throw in something that, yes,
look at all those difference makers.
Yes, every single one of them. And so you're thinking, okay, this is the way it's affordable, because you don't even know this. I just flipped this up on the ticker, drjody.com/living. You know, I have a finance company behind me. And if they want to be this part, I will turn over this financing. Payments are so ridiculously available for us to get them where they want to go. Beyond the linen closet, beyond the lumpiness underneath the blankets, beyond the coffee table, you go above and beyond and take Chris Trammell to the finish line. So it's authorpad.com.
Author Launchpad. Author Launchpad.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's okay, honey.
How did that happen?
We've been speaking it accurately. It is the author, and then just add
I did it over there, but I didn't do the other one. My apologies. But it's the authorlaunchpad.com. You can go to drjody.com/living and say, okay, if I can get payments, I'll do this. It's just, and there's an easy way to crack this, because guess what? We just keep track of each other. The thing that I know, when somebody comes into my life, I just don't get, you can't get away from me. I'm like a flea. I just stay there. I stay there, and that's Flea Jody. And you're going to be about this. So this is authorlaunchpad.com. You can go there. You can also then, if getting affordable, it is absolutely ridiculous what happens to think if I've had a $3,500 or a $5,500 payment, if it's $199 a month and there's no prepayment penalty fee, all of a sudden it's a win-win-win for everyone, that Dame Nuria said. So I would love for you, as you said, you are a visionary. You create an amazing vision. You're a speaker, but you create the best. CT was a creator and teacher, for real, for real. So what are your last thoughts of wisdom, the reason to join the authorlaunchpad.com, to join our tribe, to come and if you don't get this information on financing, you can always find me at 800-820-0584. But what are your final words, Chris? Because you have so many.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Jody. So I just put the second one I put in is correct. If someone wants to talk to me directly, and let's get you on this call, because all week I'm in launch. And let's not forget, Dr. Jody is going to be my guest Saturday.
Yes, I am.
3 p.m. Eastern, 12 noon, where I get to roll out a red carpet about why she's doing Boca. Why, like she said, why does she need to come out of retirement to transform the lives of others? So imparting the last words that you want me to share is the gift I was given during the pandemic and the shutdown, working with sacred space leaders and working with people who are very clear on their message, is they would use words like calling, my life work, my purpose is. And I was given that gift early on. And I know that as difference makers, when you are equipped with the tools, with the guidance, with the arm and arm support to take your life work out to the world, because that's where I want you to be. I'm not just looking for you to be a best-selling author. I'm looking for you to be a philanthropist that makes a difference in communities and families and areas where you see You can make a difference. But it's hard to be a broke philanthropist if you're not selling programs, not just books.
$5 or 5,000.
$5
You're
or
not in
5,000.
philanthropy
Exactly.
a whole lot except maybe a McDonald's coffee. That's it.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
How
So
much
it really
do you want
is
to do? How much do you want
deliver.
to do?
Yeah, I want people to know that they have life work in them. And it takes a little bit of work to develop it, but your book is already pointing you to it. And I promise you, we will find it and we will craft the perfect program that allows you to be profitable out in the world.
Content creator, absolutely communicator, consistent with concept. That is Chris Trammell. I adore you. I love you. If we're having a bromance here, oh well, that's just the way it is.
I'm
Because
going to buy your husband a drink out of jealousy alone.
yes,
And toast him for having a wonderful wife.
and guess what? Bob Bear will do the same to Trish because that's what we create. Come create something with this because it's more than content. What you have in your book, just like what's in our book right here, what you have in your book is your dream. Should your dream drift or should your, yes, there we go. It's your life's work.
It's about living your life's work.
Yes. And so what are you going to do? Don't sit on it because you're the story that you're sitting on, your book that you're sitting on, someone is waiting upon. Your story could change a life, could change a soul, could change a business. And you have that in your book. Go to CT at Chris Trammell with 2 L's, 2 M's, 2 L's, coaching.com. You will be so blessed that you will. And Chris, we were blessed to have you. I would say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And as we say down south, guess what? We've just begun to scratch the scratch.
Hi, Dr. Cody Bear. And to all the health coaches out there, I can't wait to meet you in Boca. Reach out to me so we could have time to connect. And I look forward to all of it.
And make it a process.
Yes.
Much love. See you Saturday.
Woo!
This is what I know. We only bring real. As my mentor, my coach always says, you can't fake real. You felt him, didn't you? Feel his passion, feel his purpose in your book today. Feel this passion. Feel what we're doing with Healthopedia 365. Feel what we are doing in Boca. Why? Because at the end of the day, I started this broadcast with Les Brown saying, it is necessary for you to do what only you can do. You will begin to do this with the process. Do it as although your life depends on it, because guess what? It does. The life of you being a philanthropist is laying inside your book. Bring it out. Bring your best self with health, because as I said twice already on this broadcast, health isn't something you do. It's what you become along life's journey. Become this with us. We are doing a Healthopedia Tour 2024 because this isn't a one-shot deal. You will want to be with us in Vail and LA. You start in Boca and go west with us and become part of everything with Chris and go west with him living in Long Beach. Your future self will thank you for it. And your future self will absolutely thank you for being on Mindset Monday with none other foster care activist and leader in his own milieu, Richard Velasana, will be hitting up the social pillar of what he's doing to recreate family, because family is everything. It just is. So just remember, life is like a milkshake. Choose your ingredients wisely. Author, if you have a book out there, choose it wisely. Choose Chris. And then when you do, life will be oh so sweet. It will be sweet for you. It will be sweet for your family. And it will be sweet for your philanthropy. For real, for real. So until next Monday, and until I see you in Boca, this is what I believe with my whole heart. Just have and be you, be the process of you becoming, to be that human becoming that you deserve to be. And until next Monday, make it a great, healthy, healthopedia kind of day, because there's more in store for you in 2024. You see, if you just spent this time with health coach Jody. Ciao for now.